So, a logarithm is another way to write an exponential. Okay? So let's say we have log base b of n equals p. So b is the base for the log. It's also the base for the exponent. So we could change this to exponential form by saying the base raised to the power equals the number. So I always remember it by thinking b is the base. So it's the base here, it's the base here. So it stays first. But then n and p switch. So n and p here becomes p and n on the other side. Okay. So let's list them out. So b's our base. P is the power, or the exponent. And then n is the answer to the exponential. So the first thing we're going to do is change form. So let's change to exponential form. So let's say we have log base 5 of 25 equals 2. And so that's how you read it. Log base 5 of 25 equals 2. Okay. So if we want to change it, the base is 5. The base is still 5. And then the 2 and the 25 switch, and that 2 becomes the exponent. So 5 squared equals 25. Is that true? Is 5 squared equal to 25? Yes. Okay, so you always want your statement to be true. So if you did 5 to the 25 equals 2, you know that's not right. Okay? So you always want to make sure that your statement is true. Good. How about if we had log base 4 of 2 equals 1/2. What would that one become? Good. 4 to the 1/2 equals 2. And so we know that's true because 1/2, remember, is the same thing as a square root, and square root of 4 is 2. Questions? Okay, let's go the other way. So let's change to logarithmic form. So let's say we had 2 to the 3rd equals 8. So when you want to go to logarithmic form, the first thing you need is log. So log. And then it's a base 2. It's still a base 2. And now in this one, your 3 and your 8 switch. So log 2 of 8 equals 3. How about if we had 25 to the 1/2 power equals 5? What would that one be? What would that one be in log form? Good. Log of 25 of 5. Good. Equals 1/2. Very good. Any questions about changing forms? Hopefully you did that in math 3. Okay, but there are 2 special kind of logs, or really 1, but so if there's a log without a base, okay, so it doesn't have log base 2 or log base 25, it just says log, okay, then it is understood to have a base of 10. So you have log, it doesn't have a base, then it has an understood 10. Just like when you have your square root, it has that understood little 2 out front. Same kind of thing. Okay. And then there's another one. So a special log. And it's called natural log. And it is written LN. Okay, so LN. Not one N, LN. And so LN, or natural log, is a log that has a base of E. So remember yesterday we talked about that E being that number. And so a log with a base E is a natural log. So it has a base of E. So if you look on your calculator, regular log with base 10 is right beside the 7. And then LN, that natural log, is right there beside the 4. Okay, so there's your 2 log buttons. So let's change some of these forms. So let's say we had ln of x equals 2. Okay. So we want to change this one. It's like these first ones that we did. So we just have the base and then the power and the number switch. So in this one, it's a natural log, so I know that my base is e. Okay, so it'll be e to the second equals x. Okay, so a natural log becomes an e. Questions on that one? So let's say we had e to the x equals 3. So in this one, an e becomes a natural log. So ln, and then the 3 and the x switch. So ln of 3 equals x. Okay, so if it's an ln, it becomes an e. If it's an e, it becomes an ln. Questions? Alright, one more like this. Let's say we have log of 0.01 equals -2. So what is the base of this one if it's just log? 10, good. So it'd be 10 to the -2 equals 0.01. Good. Questions? Alright, let's practice typing some in the calculator. So let's say we want to evaluate. So let's say we want to do log base 2 of 8. So if you're looking at your calculator, the log right here beside the 7 is a log base 10. And right now we want a log base 2. So if you go to math, below the green button, you can scroll all the way down or you can just hit up. It takes you to the bottom. And right here it says log base. So you want to click that. And then you can type in your own base. So log 2 of 8 is 3. Now let's say for whatever reason, if you have an older calculator, or maybe you're taking the exam or whatever, you don't have these calculators, to type that in, you do log of the big number, so log of 8, divided by log of the base. And that also gives you 3. Okay. So if you ever have an older calculator, log of the big number divided by log of the base, it does the same thing. That's called the change of base formula. But we don't do that anymore since our calculators do it for us, but they're just questions. Alright, how about this one? If we did log 5 of 1/5. Alright, so again, you go math, down to the bottom, log base, and then type it in. And what do you get? Good. -1. Let's do one more. Let's say we had ln of 1/e. So to type the ln, it is right there beside the 4. and then 1 divided by, and then to get the e, remember you do second division. So second division gives you e. And that also gives us -1. Now let's say that you forget that e and that natural log has a base of e. So let's say we wanted to know the natural log of 8. We get this decimal. Let's say you did the log base e of 8. You get the same thing. So ln literally is log base e. So they're the same thing. So if you ever forget, it's not that big of a deal, because you can still do log base e. It's just called natural log. Questions? Alright, let's solve a few and then I'll let y'all try some. So let's say we wanted to solve the equation log base 9 of x equals 1/2. So the first thing we have to do is get the x out of the log. So to do that, we have to change it to exponential form. So what would this be in exponential form? Good. 9 to the 1/2 equals x. Well, now x is by itself. So what's 9 to the 1/2 power? 3. Perfect. That's it. So change your form, solve it out. Let's say we had log base x of 8 equals 3. So if I change it to exponential form, what would it be? X to the third, good. X to the third equals 8. How do I get rid of a third power? Good. Cube root. So x equals 2. Good. So to get that cube root in your calculator, you can do it 2 ways. You can type the 3 and then go to math number 5 and then do 8. You can also just do math number 4 and that gives you the cube root. But if it's something other than the cube, say we wanted the 4th root, you have to do the 4, math number 5, and then the number. Okay, so type the number first, and then it makes it into the the root for you. Alright, one more. Let's say we had log base 13 of 1 equals 0. Equals x. So do I need to change this one? No, because x is already by itself. So we just type it in the calculator. So what's log 13 of 1? 0. Good. Questions? Do y'all remember this from Math 3? Good. Good, good, good.